Does it feel like most healthy snacks just taste so bland? Well, I think I may have found the perfect healthy snack. Washington red raspberries. They're a clean, simple, and seriously delicious way to add more nutrients to your day. So get this, they're American grown, picked at peak ripeness, and frozen within hours to lock in nutrients like fiber, antioxidants, and vitamin C. And I love to toss them in a smoothie or a yogurt for breakfast or eat them as a healthy treat throughout the day. Grown with care by American farmers in Washington state, frozen Washington red raspberries are one of the best kept secrets in the freezer aisle. Make sure to always check the label for American grown frozen raspberries. Want to discover new ways to use American frozen red raspberries and get more details on where you can grab a bag of these delicious berries? Go to redraz.org. That's redrazz.org. You'll find recipes, healthy tips, retail locations, and everything you need to make frozen Washington red raspberries a regular part of your routine.
Let's talk about the choices we make because they matter. From the food we eat to the products we bring into our homes, every decision has an impact. And one of the biggest, where you sleep. That's exactly why I love Avocado Green Mattress. Their mattresses are crafted with certified organic materials designed to stand the test of time. Because sustainability isn't just about what we buy, it's about buying better. I recently tried out the Avocado Green Mattress, their bestseller that comes in 3 comfort options. My partner and I went into the store and we were lying there and really could not decide between the firm and the medium options. They were both just so comfortable. I guess we'll have to go back for another test drive. I love that they have this try before you buy option where you can visit one of their retail stores or premier retail partners to experience the comfort in person. And Avocado has easy financing options with a firm that makes your purchase way more accessible. Head to avocadomattress.com today and save up to 10% on certified organic mattresses. Dream of better for you and the planet.
Hi, I'm Yue Xu.
And I'm Julie Kraftchick.
We're active daters turned dating insiders.
Here to dive into everything modern dating and relationships.
Welcome to DATEABLE. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Brunch Talk.
Hello.
Surprise. And whether you're alive or listening to us after this has gone out already, it doesn't really matter because we're going to get your dating questions answered.
Yes. And today we're going to talk a lot about the ick. We got some good ones around this topic. I always love talking about the icks. I think it's such a funny phenomenon. Like, where did this come from, you know?
And like, who invented this word? They couldn't think of anything more sophisticated.
Funny you ask, because I actually looked at the history of the ick.
It sounds like a third grader came up with it. Maybe it is.
It's funny because where did I put this in? It must have been ChatGPT, my favorite, companion nowadays. But whatever I got has like legit graphics that go with it. I kind of wish I could share it with you. It's like origins and evolutions, and there's a magnifying glass. Early use cases in British slang, and then there's a brain illustration. I don't know where this came from, but what's interesting is the ick has been informally used in the UK for quite some time to refer to a feeling of discomfort, cringe, and mild disgust. It was used more broadly, not just in dating, but to describe anything that made someone feel gross or unsettled.
Yeah.
Makes sense that it's British. I never realized that, but it feels like British humor to be like ick, the ick,
Somehow it sounds a little bit more sophisticated.
Yeah, somehow.
No, you're like, oh, it's the ick. Like, I just kept picturing this little girl with boogers in her nose chasing a boy and being like, ick, ick, ick.
But then the next part of this history lesson given to us by ChatGPT, there's a graphic of an old school television that corresponds. And it says Love Island UK 2017 to 2020. Apparently the term exploded in popularity due to contestants on Love Island UK, where several contestants used getting the ick to describe suddenly being turned off by someone, even for irrational reasons. He was too keen. I got the ick. Wow, that's British.
That's very British. Okay, so it's British either way.
Yep. And then social media amplification. I wish I could show you this graphic. It's like this old school phone. I love that it's now becoming graphics in. And so it really saying like TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram took the phrase global, especially during the pandemic, 2020 onward, where users shared icks lists when their feelings suddenly flipped. And the term became popular in memes and videos, often humorous or exaggerated. It's about right.
I feel pretty ick about the ick, even knowing the history.
But it has been like the last couple years is when you really have heard this go crazy.
Yeah. And people have always had things where they get turned off by someone.
Yeah.
They just say it's a turn off. But now it's like a thing to have the ick.
Yeah. I mean, the only time I've ever gotten the ick, I mean, I feel like I probably got the ick before it was called this and it was so normalized, but I did. One of our mutual friends showed us photos she got. Do you remember this? That she got
like,
this.
Oh, yeah.
She got this photo from this guy she was seeing.
Yeah.
And she got the ick because the way he was like posed in the photo. And I was like, oh, I think you're overreacting. And then I saw the photo and I'm like, okay, I get it.
No, that was ick-worthy.
That was the most ick-worthy I've seen.
Okay, I think we can defend this a little bit because he was like really posing.
Yeah, he was like on a bed, like hands like.
Yes. Yeah, it was a pose. I think when you get the ick because of the way someone eats, that's a little different because that's who they are on an everyday basis. But this guy's not posing like this every day. So
or is he?
I defend
who
that
knows?
ick. Oh yeah. It's like imagine being in a relationship with me and waking up to this every day.
Okay, so this word gives me the ick, which is why I thought of it, but I feel like I've been lost for years. I don't know how I just discovered that BAE, B-A-E, stands for before anyone else. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. Okay, have I just been like living under a rock? I don't know why I thought it was,
shortened for, you thought it was like a shortened babe. Huh.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Like, I didn't realize it actually was an acronym that stood for something. My mind was blown when I saw that, but that word does give me the ick.
Well, I don't know why you need an acronym for something like that.
Before anyone else. Like, I feel like usually acronyms, I feel like they're usually like a shortened word.
Yeah, and also it's like not that much shorter than babe, so it's redundant to me.
I get babe being like a new babe, but that's not even what it is.
It's not even
like no one would be like, "Oh, this is my before anyone else." Like you would never say that. Oh, I'm blown away.
Maybe you wouldn't. Maybe some of the younger kids are.
That's
like,
true.
oh,
That's true. I'm too old for bae. If I called my partner a bae, what would you do?
I would check your temperature. I'd be like, are you okay? Are you sick?
Although, okay, I had a friend, she had a coming out party. She's now back to being straight. And they wore jackets that said gay for bae. So this was someone our age, so it makes it to the lexicon.
Wait, she came out being straight?
No, she was straight. Then she dated a woman. We had her on our podcast.
Yeah. Right, okay.
And they had like a whole coming out party and they had matching jackets that said gay for bae. Mm-hmm. So I guess an example that people of our age do use that word. It's not so far off.
I mean, because it rhymes and then like it's
that's
short
true.
enough to fit onto a jacket. And it's like kind of catchy.
That's true. If it rhymed with babe, they would have just used that, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But
like
my feelings on babe also.
Yeah, you don't like that term and you would never use bae. We get it, Julie. We get it. You rather use little bunny poo poo or whatever.
No, that is not what I said. For the record, I'm not going around saying little bunny poop. I feel like UA has said that, making fun of stickers. I said, I am not calling my partner little bunny poo-poo.
He's like, oh, no, I can't say babe, but little bunny snail bear.
I do have a secret nickname that I will not reveal, but it's not as bad as little bunny poo-poo.
Okay, but also, what's funny is that, like, you and your partner both have short names.
Yeah, that's true.
So when you are in public, this is like how I like to use babe. But when you're in public, you can just call him by name, right?
You have a short name as well.
But when my partner, his name is so long, it's hard for me to be like screaming that name in public.
It's not that long.
It's weird. I think it's weird calling him by name, like in public when I need him. I'm like, help me with my luggage.
He has like
You know,
medium name. I see what you're saying. I would say it's like, but people are probably like envisioning this name that is like so long. I wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely medium. It's not short. But your ex had a short name.
He did, yes.
You
But I don't
still
know. I
use
just
babe?
didn't feel I felt weird calling them by name. I just
It's okay.
never call them by their name, but I never call them bae either.
Some people are babe people, some people are bae people, and some are none of the above, and that's okay.
You can be any, and
Yeah.
some are. No, I haven't heard any other variations. It's really just those.
I don't know if I think I like babe better than baby. I think baby gives me
Mm.
really ultimate cringe.
I think that's like generational.
Yeah. So my ex before, he used to call me sweetheart. And it wasn't like we weren't like in like the grocery store and he's like yelling sweetheart. Like it's not like that, but it's more like endearment.
Uh-huh.
And I like that.
That's sweet.
Yeah. It wasn't, yeah. I guess it depends on your use case. It'd be really weird if someone was like yelling sweetheart at the grocery store.
What does he call you? What did he call you at the grocery store?
Oh, Julie. I don't know. And I actually didn't call him sweetheart back. I just called him his name. Also short names.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I won't reveal my current nickname because it is a little embarrassing. And it's a secret I'll take to the grave.
If you're not going to tell us, then everybody will think it's little buddy poo poo.
Okay. I'll go on the record and say it's not as bad as that. Maybe this is good. You're setting the bar really, really low. So like if I were to reveal, which I've said I wouldn't, it's a between him and I thing, people will be like, oh yeah, that's not a big deal. Because little buddy poo poo is really bad.
Oh, buddy poo poo, give me some celery. Can you hand me that celery? Poo poo. For short, poo poo for.
I think for anyone that hasn't been around, I did admit, and you always seen these, that there's these little stickers we would send each other.
Yeah.
And it was called Bunny Boo and Barreloo. It's like an artist made them. You can get them on your phone. Like it's not like exclusive or anything. And like they're not like a big thing.
They're made just for you too.
Like anyone could use them. But we look them up and they're really cute. And they have names. And that's where UA has run with it.
That's right. I knew it had bunnies.
Yeah.
And I was like, boo, poo. Yeah, okay. Now it makes sense.
Do not say that on our officiant speech.
Oh, shoot. Now I have to rip up the whole thing. Damn it.
Start from scratch.
Oh, no. Glad you're telling me now. That's how I was going to start it. Okay. Mine's kind of similar to the ick.
Okay.
Kind of. It's all kind of related. But this article just came out in the New York Times about how men are really bad at having friendships.
Not surprising.
Not surprising. And research indicates that 1 in 5 men in the US and 1 in 3 men in the UK lack close friendships entirely. And I didn't read the entire article because it's fucking long, but basically like men are lacking these skills to have these friendships. But then when they interviewed men, a lot of them are saying like, I don't really need these close friendships.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, it's not surprising. I think that is definitely clear from what we've seen. I guess the question is like, have they ever had them, or is it just like with certain age did they go away?
Yeah.
Because I think there's a difference there. But I do think women just place more emphasis on friendship. Actually, I'm thinking about the episode we did with Danielle Bayer Jackson, our in-house friendship expert. Great episode. So make sure to go back and listen to that if you're interested in the topic. She talked about how women's relationship to their friends more closely resembles sisters, where men's more closely resembles a distant cousin. And I thought that was really fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do I think that men should have close friends? Absolutely, because I think the benefit of friendship is so strong. I mean, I feel like, clearly I have a wonderful partner and I'm happy about that, but I wouldn't want to not have friends either. Like, I think it just gives you something different.
And you can't be everything for your partner.
No.
And I think that's where friends do step in because it offers a little diversity in their relationships. My man friend just went to a dinner with his guy friends that he hadn't seen in like half a year, maybe even longer. And he was like, that was really nice. Like, it was really
Yes.
nice getting the support from, my guy friends, and they know my history, and he was kinda telling them about what he's been through this year, and they were like, "Why didn't you call? Like, why didn't you involve us in these conversations? Because we're happy to support you." But he's like, "I just assume, they're all, like, married with kids, and they live in different parts of town. I just didn't wanna bother them."
Yeah.
But now they've decided that they're gonna commit to a quarterly dinner,
Good.
and you have to show up, and it's like going to be they're going to alternate neighborhoods because LA is so freaking big that they're going to
Yeah.
put in everybody's neighborhoods. But he came back from that dinner realizing that he really wants to work on these male friendships more this year.
Good. I mean, I
Yeah.
think I agree. I think anytime I go out with my friends, I always feel just like an energy that I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
sometimes you don't even realize you are missing it and need it. But I
Yeah.
do think like, and I think this is for men and women, I feel the same way. Sometimes I don't want to like burden people and I
Yeah.
make assumptions that they're too busy and they're doing their own lives. And I've learned that those assumptions aren't true. A lot of my friends with kids are like, we feel lonely. We feel like,
Mhm.
isolated. And I think everyone's kind of like afraid to ask for support and everyone makes a lot of
Yeah.
assumptions. But yeah, I mean, I'm all for men having the same types of in-depth friendships as women do collectively. And if you're a woman and not feeling that, like, yeah, like what are those avenues? And I get like it's harder the older we get and the more settled people get, but just remembering that a lot of people are looking for what you're looking for and it's not a burden.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that we're at this time now where the New York Times has to write about
Right.
bad friendships that men can't have, or men lack the skills of having friendships. I don't think it's the lacking skills. I actually think there are just so many distractions for
Yeah.
people now that they're taking the place of friendships. And they'll never actually take place of friendships, but I sense that there's a lot of this feeling of like, I can just stay home and entertain myself, or I
Yeah.
can just, go to a cafe and entertain myself. As much as we love these master dates and solo dates, they're wonderful. We still need each other. And that is kind of like why we're so rare, is like
Yeah.
because we bond with each other as humans. So I hope that we can work on these things. And like, I'm realizing, even with my guy friends, that I want to like reach out to them more. Just let them know I'm here for you if you need anything.
Well, I think there's a couple things like with technology too. I even feel this way. Sometimes I'm like, oh, yeah, I talk to this person all the time.
Yeah.
And then I realize I haven't seen them in a long time because it's just through
Yeah.
text or group text. And I think there's like this fault. And I think it's nice. I don't want to say it's like all bad because on a day to day, I can't actually see my friends every day. It's just not possible. So it's
Yeah.
nice to have this like kind of alternative way. It just can't be a total replacement. So there's
Right.
that. I do think like it takes someone being the initiator. I think like
Yes.
that's what my partner struggles with. Like I think once he's there, he
Mhm.
really loves being around people, but he's not good at the initiation. I think a
Yes.
lot of men are like that. I think
Yeah.
a lot of it's like I don't want to bother them. I don't know if they're interested. And I think women like I don't know I don't know why. Maybe it's like we have a longer friendship to begin with, but we just don't like have that burden as much.
Right. Yeah, because it's just natural. Like,
It's
you're
more
going to reach out to
natural.
your friends to say how are you doing? Let's hang out. My ex had a ton of friends.
Well,
I think
yeah.
he had way more friends than I did. Like, he had always had plans with his friends. But the quality of the friends is up for debate. I think the male friends in his life, for sure. So who you surround yourself with is also very indicative of the type of person you're going to be. And I think, going back to this it conversation, if I had known like the types of friends that he had
Mm.
hung out with in the beginning, I might have thought twice about everything. Because his friends were just very like his guy friends who still lived in Asia were very much in that misogynistic,
Yeah.
very like I will cheat on my wife all I want, and I will, as long as I bring in the money, I can cheat on my
Yeah.
wife, and she's just going to have to deal with it. That kind of attitude, it's really troubling. But now looking back, I'm like, oh, kind of makes sense who you're surrounding yourself with.
100%. Maybe that is a good point. It's like if you're getting the ick from the friends, maybe that is
Yeah.
something to think about. It's interesting though, because I do think men fall in like two camps, and I get this is generalized, but it's like they either have like the shitload of friends, but they're like
Yes.
kind of surface level, maybe like
Yes.
going out friends or watching sports friends. I also think men, there are studies on this, like it's always around an activity more, where
Yeah.
women, it's just like, oh, we'll just like go
We'll
anywhere. But the
chat.
idea is to talk. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what makes it easier for us to have plans too, because they actually
Yeah.
need to find something. But I do think like the surface level, and especially if you don't adhere to their values, like that is saying a lot.
Right. So I would ask those questions in early
Yeah.
dating. If I were to date again, I'd be like, describe your closest friends and what do you like about them? What do you admire about your friends? And just see what they say. Like, I think it's such a good question to ask, for them to ask you as well. Like, tell me about your closest friends. What are they like?
I want to dive into this even more, but before we do, let's take a quick break to hear from our partners.
I am so relieved to say that the days where shapewear feel like torture devices are over. Seriously, who invented those things? They were so uncomfortable. But now, have you discovered Skims? Because I'm a Skims believer, and it's just too good to keep all to myself. The Fits Everybody collection from Skims is like nothing I've ever tried before. And here's a funny story. When I first got the cheeky bikini underwear, I thought they had sent me kid sizes because of how small they looked. I was like, this is not going to fit me. But then I was shocked that they stretch to mold to my body and they're so comfortable. I feel like I'm wearing nothing at all. And best of all, I found the perfect color to match my skin. So these undies don't show through any white pants. Skims truly live up to the hype. Shop Skims Fits Everybody collection and more at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know that we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select Dateable in the drop-down menu that follows.
As we're headed into summer, I feel that familiar urge to refresh my closet, but I'm not wasting money on pieces I'll only wear once or for just one season. With Quince, everything is half the cost of similar brands. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middleman, Quince gives you luxury without the markup, like 100% European linen shorts and dresses from $30, luxe swimwear, and so much more. I have my eye on their Italian leather platform sandals in cashew and may just be getting these in time for my bachelorette party. Their clothes are timeless, lightweight, and far more elevated than anything else at this price. Give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/dateable for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/dateable to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/dateable.
Has it ever felt like you're doing everything right, eating healthy, working out, but your energy still crashes? Or your mood swings hit out of nowhere? I know I have. What I've learned is that a lot of these issues are tied to changes in my hormones. That's where Happy Mammoth comes in. They offer a free 2-minute quiz that can help you uncover the root cause of your hormonal symptoms. It's super easy. Just answer a few questions, and you'll get a personalized recommendation to help support your hormones and start feeling better. From the hormone quiz, I learned that my estrogen rises and falls unevenly. So the solution is Hormone Harmony, which could help with bloating, anxiety, fatigue, overwhelm, and more. Ready to start feeling like yourself again? Head over to happymammoth.com and take their free 2-minute hormone quiz today to find the ultimate answer to your stubborn hormonal issues. And for a limited time, you can also get 15% off your entire first order with our code DATEABLE at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code DATEABLE for 15% off today.
So I actually think that ick could be more telling because it's about values and,
Yes.
something that could be related to the relationship. Most icks, though, actually are probably more in line with the question we got today that are more surface level or like idiosyncrasies or things that they do. So the question we got was, I've been seeing someone who checks all the right boxes, kind, funny, emotionally available, but recently I got the ick over something small. He slurps his soup and baby talks to his dog. Now I can't shake the feeling of being turned off, even though nothing major is wrong. Is this a sign I should end things, or is there a way to get past the ick? Baby talks the dog. I love it.
Guilty. Guilty. Well, okay. There's when you are in a relationship with someone, you're going to spend a lifetime finding out all the things that annoy you
Yeah.
about them, right? And new things come up all the time. I actually think these are just little annoyances. I don't think they're an ick. Obviously, when someone slurps their soup, there is no correlation to if someone's going to be bad to you in a relationship. When someone baby talks their dog, there's no correlation to them being a terrible partner. So if we make those correlations and map them against each other, we can say, okay, these are just annoyances and they don't really indicate the character of this person.
I actually really think it boils down to two things of why people get the ick. It's either that they are doing it as a way to diffuse from themselves and
Mm-hmm.
protect themselves. If I find a fault in other people, then it's not my fault the whole thing
Mm-hmm.
ended. So that's one. Or the second is they actually don't really like this person and they're just pointing out this little thing. Maybe there's something they
Mm.
can't actually put into words of why they are not attracted to this person. Because I feel like it goes back to what we've been saying since like season 1 of this podcast. Like two people could do the same exact thing. And if you
Yes.
like them, if you like one of them, it's cute. And if you don't like the other one,
Yeah.
it's cringe. And I think that is the core of the ick, is that you find whatever they're doing cringe because you don't like them.
Yeah. Let's go into the first one. I think that's really fascinating because what does it say about you? When
Yeah.
you're finding the fault in the other person, then it's less about you not making enough effort to make this work. It's less about you being, not wanting to be seen fully. I mean, you are placing the responsibility and accountability on someone else. And then now you have this great story to tell your friends like, oh, it's
Yeah.
because of the slurping or the baby
Right.
talking to the dogs. But so much of what we see in modern dating is that we don't give each other enough time. And then we stop short at these icks. So, and then we wipe our hands clean and say, well, it's not my fault. It's just like, I couldn't unsee these things. So if we can work past that and say, well, I'm going to take this as a challenge for myself to work through what are these perceived icks, then that's growth.
Yeah.
That is actually persevering through to that next phase.
So maybe to figure out if you're in bucket 1 or bucket 2 is, do you get the ick from every person you date?
Yeah.
Because then it might be a you thing. If you don't and you're getting it from someone, I remember like this is before the ick was mainstream, but I remember like there was one guy I dated that like objectively there was nothing wrong with him. He was a good looking
Mhm.
guy. I like got along with him fine, but for whatever reason, like the thought of him touching me was like ick
Mm.
feeling. And I think I was just like looking for, like, I just couldn't pinpoint what it was, but the connection just wasn't there. So I think if
Mm.
you aren't feeling this like all the time, but you're getting it with someone, maybe like take a step back and be like, is it really the slurping? Or am I just not into this person? And
Right.
if you're not into them, that's fine. Like move along. But I do think if it's a pattern of yours to find this, it might be less about them and more about your own availability.
Yeah. Are you on an ick quest so that you have funny stories to tell your friends about all the crazy icks that you found in people? Like, I certainly know girlfriends like that who just love to talk about the ick because they think it's funny. And then I have to stop them. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is not funny to me. It's not entertaining to me. If you want to tell me about your icks, like, go for it, but I don't want to listen.
So, do you remember that TV show with Kristen Bell? I'm totally blanking on the name now.
Nobody wants this.
Yes. Remember the episode where she got the ick
Yeah.
when he like, I forget what it was, like
What was he doing?
he was oh my god, what's that like Italian, like that like brand of like Italian food? He like did some
He did
gesture.
something Italian, right?
I don't even remember what he did, but something that turned her off. And the whole episode was like how you could come back from the ick. And I think it really was showing like that it was self-imposed, that she was looking for something because they were getting closer. And it felt like easier to push him away with the ick. And that like reality check from, I think it was her sister or friend or someone at that time, actually helped her move past it to be like, or I think they actually talked it out.
Play-go.
Yeah.
You say play-go.
And I think like they talked it out, and like he even was like, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Like, and if that scares you, like I think that was like really, it got more vulnerable. So maybe it's like looking for that vulnerability underneath the ick, and that will help, remove it.
That was such a beautiful discussion because
Yeah.
nobody addresses the ick. Like once you get
No.
the ick, most people just move on.
Right.
And she just like basically told her sister first, right? And she's like, I can't get over this.
I think that's what it was. And the sister was like, dump him because she was like already
Yeah,
against
yeah,
him. And then
yeah,
like she kind of expressed it to him. And he was like, this is ridiculous. Like, because he
yeah,
was not used to like modern dating at all. Like he was like a
yeah,
rabbi and like more in relationships. He's like, so what? I said prego. That doesn't change anything.
yeah. It doesn't mean I'm a terrible person.
Right.
Get over it.
Yeah. So
Good. Yeah, this is good. Figure out why you're getting the ick.
Yep.
Not who you're getting the ick from, because that's independent. Like, why are you getting the ick? Is it just an excuse for you to say that you're just not into this person, or are you just on this ick hunt?
Yeah.
And you can't get past it and go deeper with someone? Figure it out and then take action from there.
Cool. Okay. I don't have
All
the
right.
ick about the ick anymore. Great.
Good. All right. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.